What's up, everyone? Tom Hayden here. It's another episode of the Tom Hayden Show, and boy, I am excited for this one. We got a good friend of mine, one of my closest friends in this Pokemon community. I am so blessed to have met him and have him a part of my life. Carney Asada, why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Hello, everybody. As Tom said, my name is Carney Asada. I also go by Benji. I'm 29 years old. I live in Florida right now. I'm a big fan of Tom's. what? We've been good friends for about 2 years now or so.
Is that long?
We
Oh,
met
shit.
obviously we met during the pandemic, as
Yeah.
most everybody did.
Wow, I
Um,
didn't realize it was that long.
but yeah, I love playing draft leagues. I've been branching out into more competitive Pokemon aspects. Former Magic player, played the Star City circuit for a while. Um, Top cut a couple of GPs. Um, I also love pretty much any type of sport. I swam in high school, played baseball through high school, played intramurals. Still play rec league softball every so often, so I like sports too. Um, and I have two adorable little chihuahuas. Uh, They are about 4.5 years old. Uh, I'm definitely a big fan of them. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much me on the surface level.
So yeah,
So
let
thanks
me
for having me on here, Tom. I appreciate it.
yeah, let me tell the people how we met. So season two of High Roller, I ended up joining because after season one, I saw some guys from the CPDL were in it, and I was like, I want to put my money where my mouth is and see how good I actually am at Pokemon. Like, I want to, let me test my skills against the people that are also willing to pay the $100. I've always done
Mm,
fantasy football. I've always done well in fantasy football too. So I was more inclined to be like $100 league. All right, I've joined a $100 league before.
yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
1 and 7, and you lose $25 for every loss. So
Yep,
that's
it definitely stacks up really fast if you're not ready for it.
so. I want to ask you how you stumbled into High Roller. Do you remember how you stumbled in season
Um,
one?
so basically, at some point, I had been watching Twitch streams to fall asleep because I work night shift. So I had been watching Twitch streams just to fall asleep or something like that. And at some point, I woke up and somebody had raided Jin at some point, and I had basically been watching some of his streams because he was streaming a good amount at that point. It was right around like end of Series 4, Gen 8, like start of Series 5, right around. It was right about when they introduced all the hidden ability mons and everything like
Oh,
that. And I remember he was playing some sort of. It was like a double. It was basically like Venu. It was like Venu Ninetales, but it had like double sleep powder or like sleep powder hypnosis. And he was super super hyped. And basically, I was really vibing with him, and it was a lot of
that's
fun. And he
awesome.
mentioned that he was starting a draft league for people, for the high roller draft league because he didn't want he wanted people to be committed to it, and the money was basically how he envisioned people staying committed to it.
Yep,
And for the most part, that's been true.
that's been very true.
But basically, yeah, I joined season one. Had the first draft pick. It's my first draft league ever. I absolutely should not have joined season one, but I did because whatever, I can handle it. I can
Yeah,
handle, even if you go 0-8, you're basically out $300 and a good amount of your time more than anything.
yeah.
So I ended up going 1-7, but it was like a really good learning experience. Um, but yeah, that's how I ended up finding the league. It was basically just somebody. I don't remember exactly who it was, but somebody just raided Jin late in the evening. I woke up, started watching his streams. A couple months later, he starts High Roller, and then that's how I got my start. And I got my crap kicked in the entire time. It was some of the matches were not very competitive. Let's just put it that way.
That's how I felt
But
season one.
but them's
I
you
mean
know
season two.
them's the beats. Like people are gonna bring their A game when it comes to money, and that's basically how I've approached it too. Is high roll. High roller's been a lot of fun for me, and you meet a lot of new people like you. Season two rolls around. I've got a good learning experience under my belt. I got a chance to like show other people how much fun it can be. So season two, I actually went 5-2, made
Yes,
playoffs,
you did do
made
well.
it to top eight, misclicked in top eight. Could have 2-0'd Colding Light, who, if anybody's familiar with Colding Light, he's a very, very talented player. Should have 2-0'd him, didn't. He beat me. Fair enough. Season three, I went not very well. I think I was like 2-6. Season 4 was like 2-6. So like I've had a couple of like really really bad seasons, and then season 5 I finally broke through again. Um, I basically just drafted like Galarian Moltres, Azumarill, Clefable, and then just rode that plus whatever else I had. Made it all the way to the top 4. Had a really really banger set versus Jeremy Rodriguez, aka
Kick-ass player.
Serapis, who's
Kick-ass
another player I really really respect a lot.
Yeah.
He's
should. Yeah.
he is top, and he's played 3 seasons of High Roller, and he won the first season with Cole, made
Yes.
top 4 in season 4, and then finished in the finals beating me, or he beat me to make finals, and then lost to Boyd this last season. On top of regional champ, I think he's a national champion as well. He's just very good at the game. So to be that close and in our set, and honestly, like I didn't even really make that many mistakes per se.
Lucky you.
It was just more so that like his prep just ended up being slightly better than mine. Like there's basically like one turn in game 3 where if I had scored a KO on something, then I would have been in a way better position. And then there was a KO that he got that was a roll. It was like a 88% roll in my favor, and he got the KO on it. So it's like, them's the beats sometimes. But to be able to compete versus people like that, like through High Roller, it just that's what's kind of ignited my, my wish to go to regionals and do well.
Same.
And I went positive in my first 2 regionals as well, which was Indianapolis.
5-4.
I went 5-4, and then NAIC I went 5-4.
Yeah, we did the same record to both. That's exactly how I remember it.
5-4 isn't good enough. I want to do better. But
Same.
like to go positive after having not really done any IRL events for any game in that many years is like, it's a start. It's a start. So 2023, I'm hoping is going to be even better.
I'm glad you're looking at it the same way as me, because I went 5-4 at both those events. I went 4-4 at Jersey, and then the London Open was my first under 500 performance, 4-5, and it was just
London Open is just all worlds. It's literally all worlds rejects, like people that didn't make day 2 at Worlds. So like, that's going to be pretty much one of the toughest crowds you're possibly going to face, aside from the fact that it's going to be missing a bunch of day 2 Worlds players, which honestly really isn't that many players that make day 2. So.
Well, the funniest part to me was I saw 3 Kyogre Lando Amoonguses, and that was the hardest score for me to beat with Colossal and Kyogre. And,
that sounds kind of brutal.
Yeah, so that was definitely the hardest score for me to beat, and I saw 3 of them in a row for the last 3 rounds.
Yeah,
it was just like
kind of a tough way to end the day for sure.
And then one of the guys was wearing a Sprigatito hat too. He was like,
Nice.
It's just very funny, like to be like. This guy's kicking my ass with a Sprigatito hat on.
Hey,
it was very funny.
I could definitely tell stories of plenty of people that I've met in various scenes that, wore weird things to events, and so sometimes you just need the mental edge, or sometimes you just want to play in a Sprigatito hat, and I respect that. So
I asked one of my buddies who was at Worlds, I was like, "What's the funniest opponent encounter you've had?" And they said when Z moves were around, you would see like little kids dancing if they were younger.
Oh hell yeah! I love that energy.
Like
I let the adults do it too. Whatever, enjoy yourself. Especially if you're gonna dunk on somebody with a Z move. Now, if you start dancing your Z move into a protect, like okay, that's a little bit unlucky. But or like you fire off like a Z move ghost and then like say switch into normal type, and you're like, huh. Interesting.
See, I didn't play a lot with Z moves, so that made me laugh a lot, though.
Yeah. I could definitely see, like, honestly, somebody, like, off topic, somebody could make a killing just making terrestrialization hats. Like, just give me a fighting hat with a giant knuckle on it, just like a little floppy knuckle, just hanging off the top of your cap, kind of like I have like that Charizard hat with little nubs. Just make it that, but with a little Terra fighting knuckle, or like the heart on it, or something like that. Like somebody could make a killing making those. So if anybody's listening to this and you have a business idea, you want to hop on whoever makes hat, some hat retailer, you could probably make a killing on that, being one of the first people to do that. So
that's very funny, dude. I'm trying to think of what would be the funniest hat. I'd probably rock Ghost or Poison. I think. I like the skull and crossbones.
Ghost would be very, very good with the little
Guy.
It's a good with a little ghost on it. Yeah, but yeah, a little tangent aside, then I think that would be pretty funny.
I forgot, since I'm tall and you wear that Charizard head, I could spot you from like a mile away.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very funny.
Oh yeah.
Like Nino too, if he's wearing the suit, I'm just like,
Yeah.
scanning
Nino's
the crowd.
easy to spot. He just especially if there's like one of those like MLM conferences, just find all the housewives because they were eating that up
Dead.
at NAIC.
They
Oh my
were.
goodness.
That was very funny. That mid-level marketing, or what was it?
He was very, very popular. We'll just say that.
Dude, I had so much fun hanging out. Let's get into the live events now, since we already started talking about them. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
I had so much fun at Indianapolis. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this is my first internet friend I'm meeting. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, me and Carney got an Airbnb at Indianapolis. Beautiful 2 like bedroom, nice kitchen,
Yeah.
living room.
Yeah, like 14th story or something like that. Like
Beautiful.
honestly,
view.
not the most expensive either.
Very cheap.
Especially for Airbnbs. Like
near the downtown
definitely.
convention center, walking distance. It
Yep.
was like perfect. So I was like, all right.
Especially with like all the food options and everything. Yeah, if we go back to Indy, I definitely would be down to do something like that again. Because
Yeah, we could reach out to her.
I'm from Indianapolis, so yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I could get you in touch with that Airbnb person too, because we could definitely get in touch with them next.
It doesn't even have to be the same place. I'm all for the variety of life, but
Yeah.
2023 IRL events are going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Already everybody's looking forward to San Diego, prepping for that.
I need to prep more.
Orlando shortly after that. We're already working on that kind of stuff. So I think 2023 IRL events, I'm really looking forward to it. We're getting some prep in with the tournament this weekend. Hopefully there's going to be a couple more, before and after Christmas. Like a New Year's Day one, like the week before San Diego would be cool. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm enjoying the format a lot. And then honestly, I've never been to San Diego. The only time I've ever been to the West Coast was when I went to Vegas, and then we were flying out. We flew out. It was like Vegas to San Francisco back home.
Oh, okay.
So I've been in a San Francisco airport for like an hour, and that's it. So I'm really excited to see all about, meet everybody over there, West Coast, go hang out, see what everything's like.
I can't wait to eat Mexican food.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the breakfast burritos. I'm excited for
Hell
tacos.
yeah.
What's it called?
Go find some biscuits and gravy.
No.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if the West Coast can do it the same way though.
No, I wouldn't find it out there.
I wouldn't know for sure.
I wouldn't order it over there. If I'm in the Midwest or South, I'm eating biscuits and gravy every day because I was like, I'm a Long Islander.
All right, for everybody listening, when we went to NAIC, we found this little
TJ's
this little country diner. It was called. Was it TJ's? Yeah, it was TJ's. And they had biscuits and gravy, and like from
$3.
Yeah, from like my perspective as somebody who's eaten biscuits and gravy at like every single country diner ever, because I'm from the Midwest originally, it wasn't anything super special, but it was Tom's first time ever having it.
It was delightful,
and he was mesmerized.
Yes,
he was.
I cooked
so
it when I got back home
just to see some, buttermilk biscuits and some basic ass sausage gravy, and like it was fine. It was good. Like it was good. Nothing special, but good. And you were just the happiest person ever.
I was happier than a pig in shit. I was like, this is delightful.
I respect it. It was good stuff.
I ate it every morning we were there.
Like,
that was a $3
those are the
breakfast.
Type of things that I look forward to in IRL events anyway, because it's just a lot of fun to just like go discover new things.
I love food.
Fun idea for Orlando. There's a Topgolf like a half mile away from the convention center. I'd love to go play Topgolf. Just going to do like cool things, or like when I used to go on Magic trips, because I used to play Magic the Gathering a long time ago, and like we'd go I went and found like a Sky Zone in Cincinnati that I went to every single time I went to Cincinnati. I would just try to go to the Sky Zone, and it was so much fun.
What's that, like a Dave and Buster's?
No, Sky Zone is the trampoline place.
Oh shit!
It's just like this giant gym, but all the floors are just trampolines and landing pads. So like you just run around, you just jump around and screw around and
fuck.
jump on trampolines the entire time.
Dude,
it's so much fun. It's so much fun. But like those kind of experiences are kind of like what makes the IRL events special. Because like, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, it's a lot of fun to win at Pokemon. But there's something else to be said for like winning and then like having fun with your friends as well. And like having, if you have fun with your friends, then like it definitely makes you feel better if you're not winning
At
too
the
much.
which event was it? It was Indianapolis, I believe, where we were all hanging out in the backyard patio, right? With
Uh,
a bunch of people.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
At the restaurant after
Oh,
after
it
after
was
Pengy won.
Indianapolis because
Yeah,
Pengy,
we just went to the we went to that restaurant with the patio,
and we
and we just
all
hung out
ate
on the
burgers,
patio for like 2 hours, just chilling out.
playing best of
Everybody,
threes.
you know,
Irvin was talking
yeah,
shit.
just
I beat him
playing
twice.
playing money matches and just messing around. You know, everybody drinks are flowing,
Shout out Irvin for that.
food's
That was
rolling in
fun.
everywhere. Like that kind of stuff is just super super fun. That's kind of the stuff that I live for. But you know, this year I want everybody to do well in region, you know, in the actual Pokemon game as well.
Mm,
So
for
I'm
real.
really looking forward to challenging myself and challenging everybody else to just do
Better
better
than we
at
did last
Pokemon.
season.
You know,
Yeah.
just be a quality human being, try hard, respect everybody, but win.
Yeah.
Like just go win a lot.
I want to make it on that fucking stage, man. I want to get on the
For
YouTube.
sure.
I want to make it on the stage. I want to be on the YouTube channel. Like that's a real goal of mine right there. That would be so freaking cool. Like that would be
Yeah.
so freaking cool. And
Yeah.
it's just, I wouldn't even give a
I,
fuck about the information I'm giving away.
yeah, exactly. Everybody can know everything they want.
Yeah, I'm
But
up
it's
there.
like I just want to, yeah, just being up on stage would be super super cool.
That's
And
definitely
especially
a
if you can
goal.
make it late, you know, make it late on day two, you know, you top cut,
Oh my god,
you know,
imagine.
then all of a sudden it doesn't really matter how much information you give away because I'm already in top cut, bitches.
Oh my god, I've never top cut a tournament online or in person, and it's just like, fuck, man. I've gotten a couple winning ins and lost them all, and I
Yeah,
really want to start changing that this season, this format.
I've been on camera for Magic a couple times before, and it's a lot of fun. You know,
So how?
it's definitely a different experience. You know, you as long as you can avoid playing different while you're on camera, like just pretend it's not there. Don't do anything to embarrass yourself, but
Yeah.
you know, just act like it's not there, and it's really not that bad.
Tell me, how did you get into Magic, and did you do the same type of thing for Magic that we're doing for Pokemon?
Relatively similar, yeah. I
That's
got
so
into
cool.
Magic when I was like 13, just playing casually for several years. You know, just play like kitchen table, you know, have fun, don't really care about competitive. I went to an FNM and got cursed out by like a 30-year-old when I was like 15, so that kind of soured it out a little bit. But there's man children everywhere, so, you know, eventually I kind of grew up, matured, and got over it. I got into competitive when I went to college. It was right around 2012.
Okay.
Started getting into competitive. Started actually like traveling to events and stuff like that
Nice.
in 2015 or 2014. 2014, and then like 2014 through 2017 was traveling 5 or 6 times a year to go to different events across mostly the Eastern Seaboard and Midwest. Because being located in Indiana, it was pretty easy to get around.
Oh yeah, you're in the
Um,
middle of everywhere.
but I was one of those people that didn't fly anywhere. I drove everywhere. I had a
What was the
one trip
longest
to
drive?
Worcester. I had one trip to Worcester. Central Indiana to Worcester and back is 18 hours one way approximately.
What?
And I did that from a drove there from Thursday to Friday. Got there like late Friday night, technically Saturday morning, like Saturday at like 3 a.m. Got up for the tournament. Had to be at the hall at like 8:30. Played Saturday. Everybody got dumpstered. Was out a bunch of money. You know, was out the entry fee and everything. And like yeah, like Magic events have always been anywhere between like 40 to $60 to enter. So like I'm just kind of used to that. Um, so yeah, we were all out like a bunch of gas money, a bunch of food money, our entry fees. Everybody got destroyed. Sunday, a couple people played in side events, also got destroyed. So they're out the entry for that as well.
Oh god.
Start driving back Sunday night to try to get back Monday morning because I had to work like Monday at like 3 p.m. or something like that. I was working at Walmart at the time.
Okay, that's a good
And
drive.
like right as we get out of Massachusetts, the driver's car starts to break down, and we're all just it's like it's like 2 in the morning at that point, and we're just not having it. So we managed to get it. We managed to get everything taken care of. We like get somebody's dad on the phone who like walk us through. We fix whatever it is. We make it back for me to work at like 2:45. So I don't have time to go home and shower or anything. So
No.
I apologize to my coworkers that day, but I was rancid. But I wasn't going to be late to work. Damn it. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that again. I will just fly anytime I have to do something like that. But I've been in part of many degenerate road trips like that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of an experience.
That's really cool. I've never had anything like Pokemon in my life before. I've never competed in anything. It was always like sports.
Yeah.
And like high school sports, like my team won the state championship every year I played. But it was like...
Fun fact, I am actually a national champion at homeschool baseball, for whatever that's worth.
That's awesome.
But, the year we won, there were, 14 teams or something like that, so, we'd be some good teams. We didn't play any of the teams from, Texas.
Tell me about your sports
or
background.
Hawaii or anything, but...
Yeah, tell me about your sports background, because, you... And homeschooling, too, because that's both...
Grew up loving baseball, still love baseball, it's the best sport ever. Played all through high school. I was homeschooled in high school, so I couldn't play for any school teams. They came out. You know the Tebow rule.
No, I don't know anything about homeschool sports.
Okay, so the Tebow rule is basically that you can if you're homeschooled or if you don't go to a high school or anything like that, you can play for whatever school is in your jurisdiction, as long as you take 1 or 2 classes a week or something like that, or I don't remember exactly what the requirements are, but basically you can, if you're homeschooled, you can play for high school teams. Because Tim Tebow wasn't allowed to play; he had to play travel ball until college. They came out with that in 2013. I graduated in 2012, so it didn't apply to me anymore.
I graduated high school in 2012 too.
I was actually okay.
Oh wow.
So I played baseball all the way through high school. I swam mostly just to stay in shape. I didn't really compete all that much, but I basically just swam club. I swam. That was from 13 through 16. Basically, once I could drive and take myself to practice, I just stopped going to practice, and just would sit around and just flirt with all the girls on the diving team. So I probably don't think anybody really from my swim club really likes me, because that was all I did. But it was, I stayed in shape for a while. And swimming was fun, but I definitely was a baseball kid. But yeah, then I played intramurals in college for a little bit. Played intramural basketball. That was my first basketball experience basically ever, since 4th grade or something like that. And it was terrible. I was out of shape, depressed. Wasn't having fun, but it was still fun. And then I play rec league softball every so often. There's since I'm in Florida now, there's local leagues year round. You can just play church league or whatever. So I still do that every so often, but mostly I just try to play Pokemon now. I like staying indoors, unless I'm going to the beach, which I am going to the beach in San Diego at some point.
I think the convention center is right on the beach.
It's pretty close, but Zardy has a car, so Zardichar. He's one of the people that'll be hanging out with us in San Diego, so, or I'll just Uber there or something. Well,
my friend Kenny should have a car too.
Yeah. I'm gonna be in the ocean at some point.
I'm gonna be eating tacos at some point. I love food,
yes, man. I'm down for tacos,
oh,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially in Orlando, wherever we get an Airbnb, we can always just bring food with us.
Tell me about the food in Orlando.
Make tacos.
What do I got to eat in Orlando? What's something regional there? Is there anything?
There's one White Castle in south of the Mason-Dixon line, and it's in Orlando.
All right. Anything? Any other gems?
When the White Castle opened up, there was literally a 100-car line for White Castle.
For belly bombers? That's awesome. I might go get White Castle after this now.
White Castle was the last thing I ate before I lost my gallbladder, and it directly contributed to that. So I have no interest in eating White Castle ever again.
What?
Not because I can't. It's just, traumatic.
How did White Castle pop your gallbladder?
It was just straw that broke the camel's back.
Fuck.
But yeah, anyway,
I'm not eating White Castle.
in Orlando, there's definitely plenty of options. I mean, there's a lot of
I
good
like
sit
my
down
garlic.
restaurants. You can get like Korean barbecue,
I
regular barbecues,
fucking love
steaks.
Korean barbecue.
There is apparently, I have heard rumors of an all-you-can-eat seafood place
Out. I'm
that
allergic
is
to shrimp.
basically the limit on, like, it's pretty expensive, but pretty much the only limit on it is time. Like, you can only stay for like 2 hours or something like that because they're so popular.
No, I'm allergic to shrimp. I'm terrified of seafood
Oh,
and
okay.
that
Well, I
type of
won't.
stuff.
We won't. We don't have to do that then.
Yeah, I'm terrified
Seafood
of that stuff.
allergies are definitely no joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's like Korean barbecue places or
Fuck yeah.
barbecue steaks, burgers. I last time I was in Orlando, or the second to last time I was in Orlando, I took my dad there. I took my dad to a Magic Pacers game
Aw.
on his birthday in March, and I took him to this chop house, which was like $100 a person, basically. You know, after like appetizers and drinks and everything, it'd be like $100 a person. And he asked this like Michelin star waiter if they had chopsticks. I'm like, Dad, no, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
You're not getting the Texas Roadhouse roadkill. I'm
We're
gonna get
getting
you an
some
actual
nice-
steak. If you don't want a steak, you can get whatever else they have. But I'm not getting you a chop steak. I will
wanted
go
a
home and
chopstick
make you a
on it.
chop steak later.
That's
But
funny.
I'm not taking you to like a 4-star restaurant where I'm paying like $300 for everything to have you ask this waiter for a chopstick.
It's very
It's
funny.
not happening.
I don't.
And it did happen. But the waiter was very gracious about it and was like, if you're looking for cheaper options, I can help you out. And I was like, no.
So yeah, I'm not a big steakhouse guy. Usually my family would go to Italian restaurants always. That was always the move.
I'm sure we can find.
No, I'm
Like,
good
we're
on
gonna-
Italian
The
restaurants
convention,
outside of Long
the
Island.
convention center's on International Drive, and International Drive is what links everything to Disney.
So I'm down for
So
steakhouses.
there is basically going to be infinite of everything. Like whatever, like literally whatever genre you want, they'll be able to we'll be able to facilitate that with maybe 15 or 20 minutes of driving. So Orlando is going
I
to be
love
awesome.
food.
Not going to get ahead of myself because of San Diego, but Orlando is going to be awesome.
I can't wait for all the events this season, man. Like it's gonna be so much fun that we have a group we're traveling with.
IRL events are just the best.
Yeah, man.
It's so hard to compare.
It really it's yeah. Like fuck, man. It's. I'm so excited. It's 1 month, so we're taping this on
We are
December 6th.
exactly in terms of days, exactly 1 month away, basically.
And
January 6th.
I don't even
is
have a
basically when
team
it starts.
built. I don't even have a team built yet. I'm still working on it, which is
Same.
crazy.
Same.
You know.
But that's one of the cool things about having all these tournaments and everything ahead of time is, you just accumulate enough resources to build whatever you need on the spot, and you just go from there.
That's
whatever
why-
team you decide,
Yeah.
we may not lock in teams until Friday afternoon of the event.
I wouldn't like that. I want at least a
That's
week.
just how it goes. Like you'll probably have an idea of what you want to do, but like it would be crazy to just lock in a 6 and be like, all right, today I'm going to pick exactly what 6 I'm going to play for San Diego, and that's all I'm playing.
No, it's crazy because I haven't done enough practice. What I've been doing is before I go to bed, I've been reading Cerebi about the new Pokemon, just going through and checking.
Nothing wrong
abilities.
with that, and we'll still get plenty of best of 3 practice, play Victory Road,
Yeah, I need to get
play
more
Wide
familiar with them.
League, play Nino's League, play
much practice
Limitless
as
tournaments.
you
There
can.
should be stuff going on basically every weekend. So if you have weekends off, there should be something for you.
Exactly. That's what I
So-
love about having weekends off right now, and I'm gonna try to get as much practice in this next month as I can, because we
Yep.
got
Just get enough reps in, get everything, get an idea of what you want to do, because
yeah
it's there's still a lot of format to explore.
4
You know.
weekends. That's it, man.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it. So yeah, no, let's I can't wait to start practicing and building more for this too. So I'll be in touch about best of 3 practice too. And one thing
Definitely. So this is a good time to plug the Discord. So
Yes.
anybody
Crazy.
interested in some ascending higher level play, we're working on it.
we're working on
You
it.
can always join the Amoongus bus.
The bus is rolling.
The bus is rolling,
dude.
and we are all, everybody's driving.
How much
You drive
fun?
it. You drive it at your own pace.
How much fun is
So
the Discord so far? It's only like
I
a
have
week and a
I have
half old.
honestly enjoyed the Discord.
So for
Mostly I just use Discord to like keep up on things, communicate with people, wait for notifications on leagues and stuff like that. But honestly, starting a server, like watching a server organically start from the ground up, has been a really interesting experience. Especially getting to mod for a friend.
yeah, thank you for
Um,
that. Thank you for
it has been very very interesting just getting to see like where we want to go with everything, and
that.
there's a lot of people in the server that really want to grow their game, but everybody's also kind of enjoying just having a new game to play. Sword and Shield was cool. I won't say it was like a bad game,
I
but it
loved
wasn't
it.
great, and I
I
think everybody
loved
was
it.
kind of tired of it.
I wasn't. I
So
loved it.
getting to see like a fresh new game, new mechanic, new items, new mons, new everything. It's really really interesting.
A bit
Um,
overwhelming at first for me, honestly, and I wasn't anticipating that.
it definitely can be, and this is the
Yeah.
first time that I've cared about a Pokemon game on release.
Yes, that's it.
So for me, it was a lot to take in as well. But I mean, that's one of the cool things about having friends is, you have a lot of other people to like help you get through everything and, get used to everything. Because there's a lot of information that we still have to parse just to get ready for regionals.
Yeah.
Um,
So wait, let me tell a little
but
bit
yeah,
about why I started the Discord too. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
What were you gonna say
no,
there?
by all means.
Because it's just like, dude, I was adding you and T Mosk and people, Beanie and like all my friends to like a million group chats, and you guys were all like, "Bros, just start a freaking server. We'll all talk there," and it grew organically to like 60 people.
Yeah, like that. I mean, that's a big jump to just start a server, because then you have to like manage all that, and then like if somebody starts acting a fool, you have to be responsible for that and like take care of that.
I've
But
actually had someone.
so far, most everybody's been on good behavior.
I,
So
I'll tell you on the
you know,
side. There's been one thing where someone's like, "Am I being a dick to this person?" And I'm like, "You know what? No, they're kind of being a dick to you." I was like,
I mean, only one thing in like a month so far is
"No, it's only
pretty
been like
good.
2 weeks. I
So
want to say it's only been
maybe
like 2.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a very new server, so
very new. But I'm having
for
so much
anybody
fun
else,
with
now's
it.
your chance to get in on the ground level. Be somebody who is here,
A homie.
at the start.
It's all homies too. I like have a story for how
Yeah.
I met everyone except for like a handful of
Everybody,
people,
everybody who comes through the Amogus bus gets to meet Tom and get to know him.
which is really cool.
And you're one of the more interesting people in the community.
I appreciate that.
And this is your year to make a big
wanna-
name for yourself. The Amogus bus, Tom Hayden, the Tom Hayden show.
Dude,
Get yourself out there. It's a lot of fun to do stuff like this.
I am so because like I love talking to the homies. Like I love talking to people and like I love hearing people's story on how they got into Pokemon too.
For
And I
sure.
feel like
I mean, I could talk for hours and hours and hours on end.
yeah,
Everybody will get bored of me eventually. So,
me too. That's
but
what,
it's just being able to do this every so often, and just talk to people, learn everybody. I'm excited for everybody else that's going to get interviewed, because I
can't
get to learn their story and learn what makes them tick,
I've only
or what
recorded
has
one.
made them tick in the past, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I think it'll just be really cool.
This is the second episode I'm recording. I'm not sure what order I'm gonna release them in, but I recorded with B. Haney and his story about being a baseball player that's a Pokemon player, and he's like not a bad Pokemon player either. He's like a very good baseball player. He's a very good
Pokemon and
Pokemon.
extremely good at baseball.
It's crazy how good he is at everything he tries. And like hearing some from his perspective, I love that.
Some people just naturally get that, and some people, he also, it's not as
He
all,
works hard.
It's all
He-
talent.
he
also
works hard.
works really freaking hard
That
at everything he does. So.
It's like talent mixed
You
with
know.
that work, and it's like that's why I started this to talk to people like
work
him
ethic
too.
enhances talent.
And it's like
So
I have a couple of ideas for guests I want to get on too, and it's just like I got to start writing them down and what I want to talk to them about. But it's so interesting how many people in this community
and
would
just
be
ask,
interesting to talk
you can
to.
just ask people, even somebody outside your normal comfort zone. Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm sure
you
there's
know,
it's
you know me.
not hard to get people to talk to you for a half hour or so.
Yeah, see, I think the sweet spot's like 45 minutes to like an hour 20-ish, I want to say. Me and B. Haney recorded for an exactly 1 hour. We're at 35 minutes now, and I still want to talk to you about the CPDL because we somehow I haven't crossed that off my list.
Of all the things we've covered, then
Yeah, the CPDL hasn't come up yet, which is very funny to me too. Because I invited you there, right? When we met in High Roller?
Yes, yeah. When we met in High Roller, you invited me to the CPDL server, and I just
I've been doing that for so
chose
many
to
people.
observe for the first season because I was mostly focused on High Roller,
How could you not
and
be
I was
with the
doing
money?
well. That was season 2, so I was doing well in High Roller, so I mostly wanted to vibe with that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, the CPDL has been a really cool experience. I joined so like CPD like High Roller season 2 was basically CPDL season 4, I think, end of season 3, I think,
Yes. Yep.
and then so I watched season 4, and then I've competed in 2 CPDL seasons so far, or 3.
So yeah,
No, I've
season.
competed in 2
Okay.
because I competed in season 6 and season 7.
Okay.
Just wrapped up.
Yeah,
That was
season
the last
7 just
season.
wrapped up.
So yeah, I competed. I watched the end of season 4, watched season 5, coached you,
Yeah. Well, with
and then
season 5, the Diamond Pearl season, I forget which
I
one
don't
the
remember.
Diamond
I thought
Pearl. I sat that one out because of the live
we'll have to
events.
clarify that at some point, but I've participated in 2 CPDL seasons, and it's a really interesting experience. You know,
Yep. It was.
it's still
Oh
a
no, it
competitive
wasn't.
server.
216.
Um,
It is
you
so
know,
much fun.
the first couple of interactions I had, you know, there were a couple players that weren't taking it super seriously, which is something you kind of get sometimes
With the
when
cheaper
there's
leagues.
nothing on the line for
Yeah.
it. But definitely at the top end of competition, you know, there's a lot of really good players there.
A lot.
You know, Koji, Bihani, KD, even like United's pretty good.
You know,
Um,
yeah.
there's a lot of good players at the top, and then you know we just keep adding more and more good players, and other good players. You know, other players are getting better as well. Like Alpaca went to the finals this season, and he was somebody that I wasn't super high on originally
He
when I
knocked
first
me out
got
of the
to the league. But
playoffs.
he's grown a lot too, and he played really well this season. And
Season.
then Ano just coming out of nowhere, crushing everybody.
It's so
I should have beat
impressive.
him, but you know,
So impressive
again,
what
that's
he
on
did.
me.
So impressive
Shoulda,
what
woulda,
Ano
coulda.
did.
But
What?
you know, Ano has an undefeated season out of nowhere and wins the whole thing. So like, there's a lot of good players in the league, and you know,
A lot of good
if
players.
anybody's interested in it's technically a money league, but it's a relatively low
$15, I
stakes,
believe it
high
is.
growth money league.
That's exactly the
Um,
best way to describe it, actually. Wow.
so like, if you just kind of want to mess around and try things out, then by all means, you're just out a couple bucks. But if you really want to try hard and grind your game, there's a lot of good players that you can learn from,
Yeah.
and
Prep with.
people you can teach stuff to as well. So there's really a little bit of everything for everybody. How has your experience with CPDL been? Have you had fun with it?
Bro, I feel like the best recruiter. I've invited so many people to that server because I talk so highly about it.
You're just like the ultimate hype man.
Yeah, that finding the CPDL has really changed the trajectory of my fucking life, which is nuts to say out loud. But when you
That's
look at
awesome
it,
to hear.
yeah, when you look at it, United invites me to CPDL. Well, let me start with back. My buddy Kenny convinces me to go get ORAS and play ORAS with him. Teaches me EVs, IVs. We build teams competitively and play. I don't like restricted Pokemons. I stop playing. COVID happens. Sword Shield comes out. Get the game, beat it, go on ranked ladder, play Cybertron because I know how to build ranked teams because of Kenny. Tweet about it. End up meeting United on Twitter because he liked to tweet. United invites me to CPDL. I start competing, meet guys in High Roller. Then we end up wanting to go to the Indianapolis event because we're playing the guys that are in the tournament anyway, you know, we might as well go test our, you know, and it's, now we're here where I'm going to so many events this season. I'm having a blast. I started my own, it changed the trajectory of my fucking life, which is crazy though. Like, who knows, my Pokemon journey would be so much different without all those things along the way, you know?
Yeah.
Like if I didn't meet United on Twitter, I never would have found CPDL. If I never found CPDL, I don't know how I would have found High Roller. If I never found High Roller, I don't know if I ever would have went to an event. I would have just probably kept playing online and doing other shit. Like, it's crazy how cool of a community it is. And it's like everyone in there has been so kind to me over the years. Like, I can't believe it's years now, but it feels like a flash in a pan. But yeah, it's been 2 years since I joined High Roller, and a couple months before that since I was in CPDL, and even season 1 of CPDL, I was talking to United and trying to help him out as much as I could. And then I also met Ricardo on Twitter. He was right before I met United. He was like my first online Pokemon friend because I searched Incineroar on Twitter to try to find a hidden ability one, and Ricardo was talking about shiny hunting them, and then I ended up meeting Ricardo in London. Like, it's just crazy how this Pokemon world and like all of it, and now Ricardo's in the server, United's in the server, Behaney's in the like, and all these guys I could talk to all the time now. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how it really has become an awesome community, and like it's so much fun to do a draft league. I'm never gonna run one. It's just too much work for me to run. I'm too lazy for that.
I ran a draft league with Nino. That was interesting and cool.
So it's like I will encourage
it's
everyone
definitely
to
a
join.
lot of work, even just for like a 16-person draft league. Like it's still a lot of work.
I will advertise the shit out of it because I am so like grateful for the people like Jin and Behaney who run these leagues so well and like keep it going, keep the players motivated, handle any issues you got, you know, because you'll get me reaching out being like, my opponent forfeit, I want to play, how do I get it, you know, and it's just me going crazy for a second because my adrenaline's all high, I want to fucking battle, and then it just like rug gets pulled out and I'm just like freaking out, and then when I calm down I'm like, my bad. But it's like, and then like that probably happens all the fucking time, you know, like stupid shit like that. Like,
well, I mean, it's definitely okay to be motivated.
And it's like really cool to see like how they run it so well, you know. It's like I fucking love the way they do that, you know. It's just like, and if I've joined any other like the PDPL I've heard about from the outside, I have friends who play in it and heard great things about it. So it's like that's another one. It's like I'm impressed with these guys that are able to run it, you know. It's like really really cool, and I will encourage anyone who's trying to get better at Pokemon to join draft leagues because nothing has helped me better with team building. Thinking it's like a puzzle I'm trying to break with their roster. They're 11 months out.
And that's one of the interesting wrinkles that we've seen. Yeah. You know, just in the end of, like in the interim between Gen 8 and Gen 9 was the rise of the 1 day or like the 2 day draft leagues.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really interesting wrinkle on that because it tests your team building, but it also tests like your instant adaptability.
Not
you know,
your
making
prep
sure
time.
Like instead of just finding out the perfect 6 versus the perfect 6 and then trying to spending a whole week grinding that, it's about figuring out like, all right, I have like an hour tops to figure this out,
and then I need to move on to the next one.
I'll just throw this together and we'll figure it out on the fly.
And then talking to opponents. So in the high roller one, I was convinced if I led something else into Arcanine, I would have won. And he's like, I had White Herb, so your speed drop would have been declined anyway. Oh, Metagross, yeah. He's like, I got you either way. I had you checkmated. And I was like talking to my opponent after. I was like, oh yeah, no, you had me checkmated. It's like I love talking to the people after, figuring out what mistakes I made.
As long as the people are willing to talk.
Yeah,
sometimes you beat someone. Sometimes you beat someone they're not really interested to talk to you.
After
and,
I
that's
lose,
respectable. Everyone recovers in their own way.
Yeah, after I lose, people are way more willing to talk than after I win.
Yeah, generally, yeah. But that's how it goes. And
that's always how it goes.
As long as you understand that sometimes they're going to want to talk, sometimes they're not going to want to talk. Like it's fine.
It's very funny.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still looking forward to playing a couple of draft leagues this year. Like CPDL and High Roller are definitely like non-negotiable for me.
They're home.
And there's a couple others I'm considering hopping in on the side just for like extra reps and stuff like that. But IRL definitely still needs to be like my first priority, and that's what it's going to continue to be. My first priority is trying to do well at that.
Because I'm investing so much in the hotel and travel.
Yeah, I consider it's. If nothing else, you just look at that as like vacation.
It's so much fun.
Like, it's still going to be time. It's time off work that you're getting to go travel the country and go experience new things. So like, yes, ideally you still want to like win and win your money back. Yada yada yada. But like, I generally consider that like mostly a sunk cost.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to make the money back to be able to do it again next year because my life is in a good enough state that I can basically just afford for this to be like my kind of vacations and stuff like that. But I definitely respect people that want to grind and like, have not necessarily have to make the money back, but like, they need to justify it a little more.
I want to go 6-3 or better because the best I've ever done is 5-4, and 6-3 or better is CP. So like CP is going to be my goal every regional event I go to. If I walk out of there without CP, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Just top 64 every single event. Because, like, the minimum you can get is, like, 30 or 40 or something like that, I'm pretty sure.
That's a lot compared to my
So
2
like,
from the ICs.
yeah, you hit like a random top 16 or a top 8 or something like that, and all of a sudden, we could be looking at a world's trip at some point.
Oh my god! Imagine, like Japan.
Yeah.
Japan.
Like, if you can afford to start a travel fund,
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
I've got my travel fund, and if I end up not going to Worlds, then I'll figure something else out to do with it.
Treat
Just have that
yourself.
money aside.
Treat yourself. Invest in a portfolio. No, I'm kidding. Like actually,
Buy some Dogecoin.
I put $20 into Dogecoin, and what's it called? I made 1,800, and my accountant was like, "What the fuck, man? Like, you owe a lot in this in tax now." And I'm like, "What?" He's
like, you're like, "Oh yeah, every time you make money, you lose money." Great.
I'm like, "Wait,
Love
what?
it.
I spent that already." He's like, "Yeah, no, you owe me like a lot of money now."
Yeah, well.
It's like Dogecoin.
And I do it all again.
It was very funny because I kept getting emails from Robinhood too, because I put it in Robinhood, forgot about it. They were like, "We're gonna liquidate your account if you don't respond in the next 30 days." And I was like, "What does that even mean? I don't even have anything in there." And I opened it up, and it was a balance of $1,800. I was
like, hell yeah.
Yeah, withdraw, close account.
Yep, sign me up.
And then the whole Robinhood stuff came out like 2 months later, so I like got out right in time too. Because it was
like anybody. It's like anybody that got stuck with the FTX collapse. Like, I feel for you. I feel for you. But that's that's a conversation for another day.
Glad I didn't get trapped into that one. Because investing,
crypto's for chumps.
Yeah, no, I fell hook, line, and sinker. I bought an Ethereum for $420 with my grandma. We split one, and then I ended up selling it at like $435 because it went down, and then once it got back to even, I was like, "Grandma, I'm not built for this.
I'm getting out of this.
I'm not built for this, Grandma." And I used the money for a Mother's Day present. Bought my mom a nice ass ping pong table in the garage.
Aw,
yeah,
that's so sweet of you.
Oh yeah, Ethereum. Fuck yeah. So I like Ethereum because of that. I think Bitcoin has uses. I might invest if it keeps. I gotta look. I don't have the time to keep up with the charts, and then I need to set it and forget it. I can't like keep checking the balance because the first time.
Don't check it every single day because otherwise you're just gonna get sad.
Because that's what happened with Ethereum. It's all about long term, and I was investing for the short term because I forget when it was. It was like real. I think it was like 16-ish. Whenever it was at $400 is when we invested. Like I think $420-ish. I don't know when. Look up the charts if you want. Me and Grandma got in then and got out when it went back.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, like I had so much fun talking with you today. Is there anything else? I crossed out everything on my list: the intro, high roller, magic, IRL events, sports, CPDL. Is there any other like unique homeschooling stuff that people like me don't know about? Because that's a very unique perspective that I'd love to hear more about.
I mean, it was neat because I got to go take college classes. Like when I started, because like basically through high school, you can start earning college credit as early as 16.
Oh wow!
So I basically just went to local community college for like my last 3 years of high school. But it definitely is. You have to stay self-motivated.
Yeah, I can't imagine that
because it definitely isn't for everybody. But you can still come out of it a reasonably adjusted human being and like ahead in life. And like I had plenty of advantages that I ended up squandering, which is I've made it reasonably well since then. But it definitely takes a certain type of person, and you have to have like the right family situation and everything to be able to do that anyway. Yeah. And I think homeschooling kind of gets a bad rap just because of, there's a lot of like, basically people that just don't school at all and then just call it homeschooling. But like, it is what it is. Like, I know what my experience was like, and if everybody else has their own version of homeschooling that they're familiar with, and whether it's a good version or a bad version, then like, so be it.
I don't know anything about it. When you mentioned that, I was like, what? I don't think I've ever met someone that was homeschooled before. I don't think I have any other friends that were homeschooled. So it's like a really...
Basically, my only real thing is that there's like some amount of like regulatory issues. Because like you can basically kind of just do whatever you want, which is how people get away with, just doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, personally, I rather would have gone to high school but I am not unthankful for my time being homeschooled.
It's
But
definitely
it's an interesting experience, but it's definitely not for everybody.
it's a unique
Um,
perspective, 100%.
for sure. But I like to think that you wouldn't be able to tell that I was homeschooled.
I couldn't tell.
So you can't tell the difference.
No, I couldn't
And
tell.
as long as you can't tell the difference, then I think that that's a success.
That's interesting too. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, no, I mean, I had no idea you were homeschooled until you told me. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like, oh wow, that's interesting. You know, like
It's a
put that
thing
in my
that it's a
mental
thing
note.
that was a
I
long
was like,
time
oh, that's
ago.
cool.
Graduated high school a few years ago. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. I literally never went to public school a day in my life except for college courses.
Damn. Yeah, no, I just skipped my
So
10-year anniversary because it was on Thanksgiving weekend. And I was like, none of
who
my
does
friends
that?
wanted to go. It was like a $75 ticket too. Shout out St. Anthony's
Ugh.
Friars. Wait, I think I'm wearing the sweatpants. Yeah, St. Anthony's
Ugh,
Friars.
so much.
It was just like not. Yeah, no, I'm skipping out. I'm not going to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this was so much fun. Thank you for doing this too.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And now a little behind the scenes. I don't know when I'm releasing these. I'm gonna try to figure out how to post them to Apple and Spotify and whatnot. And
Yeah. You just have to like clip up a few things. Listen to it again, clip a few things out.
nope,
You know, edit it down.
nope, going out raw. I'm not editing
Oh,
shit.
fun.
Yeah, this is gonna
Okay.
be a raw.
We'll do it live.
We're doing it live. This is just me. This is how I'm doing it. If someone wants, like to edit it, I probably would say no because I want the real conversations out there, And if
Fair
someone
enough.
wanted me, like if a guest asked me, like, hey, can you edit something out? Of course, I would try to figure that out. But it's
Sure.
just like right now, it's just like, hey, let's let it roll. Let's see how it does. And
Sure. Send it as is.
yeah, this is the second one I'm recording, so this is a lot of fun so far. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the second episode I release, or if I might try. I don't know because I already talked to Beanie and T Mosk about doing episodes. So hopefully, what's it called? We get those down, and then I'll have 4 of them recorded, and then that's when I have 4 or 5 recorded, is when I want to start releasing it, because I want to have a backlog of at least 3-week cushion, so that I
Makes
can
sense.
record. Like, let's say I could record 2 episodes in 1 week. I could take the next week off, record a
For
couple,
sure.
and just try to backlog it and release them weekly, like every. And I don't know what day is the best yet. I'm gonna try to scope out the days. Maybe Tommy Tuesdays, because that's rolls off the tongue.
I respect it.
Yeah, and that's
Either
what.
way,
Yeah,
you get it figured out.
I'm so excited to do this. So thank you for being like one of the early guests, man. And I'm gonna stop the
Absolutely.
recording here. Thank you, everyone, if you listened this far. Super cool. And I'll see you next time.